What's up? Welcome to Live with Copville, emergency broadcast. Obviously, we have a wild situation. Everybody's got a perspective, everybody's got an answer, everybody's seen videos. The nation is divided. That's what I'm going to start out with. We have a huge division. Obviously, it didn't start today, it didn't start yesterday. It's been going on for quite a while. I have my own opinions on things. I know that, jokingly, Tyler calls me liberal Mike on the show. I tend to try to look at things very American. When I say American, I mean what the country was founded on. What are we here for? We're here to have a great time, sing Kumbaya, not be at war with each other. Obviously we went through civil wars, we went through, World War II, we went through all these wars and all these things to get to where we are. And obviously things aren't going well. We immediately become divided when these things come out, right down the middle. Kill them all, take them all away, leave them alone. I see some comments. I'll go through here. I'm eager to hear Mike's perspective after Israel's Friday Live yesterday. Israel and I do a show together, obviously. All the boys are here going through the comments. We got the weather out there. We got everything going on. And we were live yesterday on the Anti-Hero broadcast. Steve says we've declared war on paychecks and pensions. So I want to give this is mine. This is not Anti-Hero. This is not anything else. This is Michael Dilks. This is my version. This is my take on what happened. I'm going to play the unedited video one more time because I'm sure nobody's seen it. This is the first video that came out. We're going to play this real quick.
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people,
Oh shit! What the fuck?
All right. So we've all seen that. I'll run it one more time.
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people,
You have a dog pile. Obviously, this guy's on top of a woman. They're trying to take him in custody. There's multiple agents. There's a lot going on. This is not good. This is not a fun situation to be in. This is what we're seeing over and over constantly. So there it is. My initial take is ICE has to be able to do their job. ICE has to be able to go out and enforce the law. They're there for a reason. I agree. People have a right to, when I say this, peacefully protest. We have a right to peacefully protest. You can go not like what the government's doing. It's in the Constitution. Somewhere in there, though, we have, I saw this morning, a signal group get dropped with thousands and thousands of agitators in a signal group with their sole mission is to go disrupt the government, which is get in the way of ICE, stop the deportations, create problems. That's where my line is. Sean Paul Reyes, Long Island auditor, all these auditors, they are exercising the First Amendment right. I have no problem with anything they do. They can come knock on a cop's door. Some people don't like it. You want to knock on my door? Come to the house peacefully. That's exercising, my opinion, that's exercising the First Amendment, Second Amendment, First Amendment, Second Amendment in this video. But that's exercising the First Amendment to what it was designed for. You have a right to peacefully protest the government. You have a right to not be oppressed. You have a right to do these things. I don't believe you don't have a right to disrupt federal agents in the course of enforcing the law. I also don't believe innocent people should be shot and killed. And I'm not saying that's what happened in this case. That's my overview. So when we get to that point where maybe the protests are going too far, there has to be a response from the government. There has to be give and take in all this. What we're seeing, and here's some of the things I've heard. Well, don't bring a gun to a protest. Don't be armed when you go there. Okay, let's run down that alley. I'm exercising my First Amendment rights. I'm exercising my Second Amendment rights. I'm legally armed. I'm at a protest. Things get out of hand. Now, if I'm the agitator and I start acting out and I get in a fight with ICE and all that stuff that happens, And I'm not talking about this scenario. I'm talking about in a general scenario. Yes, I was armed. I went to an ICE raid. Was that the smartest thing to do? I don't know. I don't believe so. Here's my response to that. If I'm right now legally armed, I walk into the supermarket and I see a fight, and I got a gun on me, and I'm trying to break it up. I'm wrestling. I see something bad. A cop walks in, unknown situation, just sees me. I'm a bigger guy. I'm wrestling with some dude. He sees me with a gun. I'm doing the right thing as a civilian. I'm interjecting into some catastrophe, and they don't have the information yet. He sees a gun on me. I get dogpiled by the cops, and I get killed because I chose to get into a scuffle while armed. Well, should I be killed? I'm armed, right? They don't know my intentions. I'm armed. It's a very dangerous situation. I don't know the right answer. I'm asking, I'm putting it out there. That was one thing I heard. Now, if I go armed intentionally into Publix or the supermarket and I start inciting violence, or I start attacking, or I start protesting, and now I end up in a scuffle, and now I end up um in that situation, well, I probably, maybe I don't deserve to be killed. I'm not saying anybody does, murdered. When I say murdered, I mean illegally. But now I've created a situation where, yeah, that wasn't the greatest idea. I knew I was going to go there, cause a scene. I know I was going to be an agitator. I knew there was going to be federal agents. I knew they were going to be armed, and I knew I was going to have a gun on me. So until more comes out, that's one of my other big takes on this is until more comes out, which you got your conspiracy guys, you got Steven here, pension and paycheck and self-proclaimed heroes, and um, the protesters are paid. I see Jerry writing that. You're right. Until all of it comes out, or whatever they're going to tell us comes out, this unique situation, you have to look at it in and of itself. This isn't the vehicle versus the ICE agent last week. This is a completely separate incident. But he is armed legally. I mean, I've seen pictures of him. He seems like a pretty beta guy. Nothing crazy I see. Who knows? What led up to it? We'll know. We'll maybe know. We'll kind of know. Does anybody really care at this point? I know it's burning up there. I had guys on the ground yesterday. They were setting pallets on fire. People were bringing pallets to the scene. They were gassing them. It's a disaster. The whole situation is a disaster. But let's try to look at, this is our country. We're at a real crossroad. Is there a larger scale? Dom Izzo makes that case about a larger scale. Was all that done under Biden to create all this done under Trump? There are so many possibilities, conspiracies, people, money, funding, bad intentions. I try to get rid of all that, and I believe in God. I want to do right by God. You may not believe it based on some of the stuff I post, but I assure you, I don't want people to die. I didn't kill anybody, didn't take anybody's life. Would have if I had to. I watched a lot of people's lives taken. I watched a lot of mothers and daughters and sisters and brothers suffer at the hands of being a victim, or just circumstances where people died, and I had to watch that happen. That's not fun. I don't like it. This isn't fun for this guy's family. This isn't fun for the agents involved. This is fun for nobody. This isn't a good time. It's great. I guess you could make the argument it's internet. It's great. We're making the memes, we're doing the jokes and all that, but people are dying. So I don't know that it's fun. I don't know that it's funny. There is dark humor. And one of the things that, I got called out by a guy yesterday that was kind of upset. I don't know how that's going to go. Somebody was upset with, the jokes and the stuff. We're cops. It's not cool for people to die, but we're going to make dark humor jokes. It's never going to stop. And in order to keep the cops involved and get the message across, sometimes you got to get them here with the jokes, get them here with the crude humor, and then we have a conversation like, is this what's going on the best? So let's go back to that situation. From what we've seen, I'm not an expert, wasn't there. All I've seen is everything everybody else has seen. Does it look controlled? Doesn't look controlled to me. It's a dog pile. So all the MAGA, all the people over there on the right, I get it. Fuck those people. Fuck them. They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be protesting. America, I voted for this. Cool. No problem with you thinking that way. Then you have the other side, the other side, which is everybody stays, fuck the government. They're all agents of the government. They're horrible. Everybody that voted for Trump should die. We're going to disrupt. That's another angle. Then somewhere in the middle right there, you got just people that want to take their dogs to the park like I did today. Just want to take my dog to the park. I just want, my daughter took my granddaughter to the park. I didn't know she was there, but happened to be right next door. People just want to enjoy their lives. So we have all this going on. Somewhere in the middle is all those people. But we're constantly seeing these things. So does this look good? No, doesn't look good. Who's wrong? I don't know. Do you get to continue to forcefully block and stop federal agents from performing their jobs? I don't think you do. I'm not saying you shoot them. I'm not saying they get killed. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying immigration has to be able to do their job. I think mass, and some people argue paid, protesters or paid agitators, I think that is a problem. Do they really care? Well, you have to ask that. Are they being paid? It's wild to me that, there's this many people that don't work, that have thousands and thousands of people in these signal groups, that are out agitating. And I saw it this morning, and I have to take everything for face value, but I saw a guy that infiltrated. He worked his way into a signal group, and he scrolled and he showed, make sure you show up here, make sure you block the agents, make sure you do this, set this on fire, get over here, make this happen. That's all being done against the federal government. And like Steve said, I don't know that to be true or not true. They attacked a man for documenting. He was videoing. There was some scuffle. I don't know why. I'm not going to get into that. But he was definitely, I wouldn't use the word attacked, he was attempting to be detained. Now, the feds have to be able to do the job. The citizens have to be able to protest. I agree with both of it. But at the point where it becomes an organized effort to stop the government from even traveling down the road and getting from point A to point B and doing these things, and you're blowing whistles, and at some point it disrupts their ability to do their job peacefully, which leads to unpeacefully, non-peacefully, whatever the educated word is. I'm just a moron. Whatever that word is, they have to, it leads to this unrest we have. I don't believe in my heart and soul any of those agents, the first shooting or this one, said we're going to kill this guy. I can tell you, unless you're a stone cold killer, and I don't know that anybody can make it through, well, I'm going to say this is my opinion. Anybody can make it through the hiring process, make it onto the street through training as a stone cold killer that goes, I've waited my whole life for this weirdo with a beard or this lesbian driving a car, and I'm going to get her today. I don't think that happens. I don't think anybody makes it through. I think you're exposed way too soon. You see what cops get in trouble for all the weird shit they do with sending their penis around or getting in databases and doing weird shit when they first get hired, having sex with prostitutes. That when they infiltrate our system and they get to that role, it usually exposes itself pretty quick. It doesn't last very long. So these guys, I don't think set out and we're going to go kill him. Now, when it's time to take somebody into custody, are they well trained? That's another issue I have. The last administration shut these guys down. They weren't out actively grabbing people. They weren't doing deportations. They were doing nothing. Numbers were down. Hirings were down. I know Keith Pearson from Department of Homeland Security confirmed, that they had to mass hire, get guys out of the office and go, hey, bro, we're not sitting at the desk anymore. We're going to go enforce our rules. You all of a sudden thrust untrained or dudes sitting at desk for an extremely long time, not doing anything. It'd be like taking our local detective division down here and telling all those dudes to go out and work. You wouldn't like their production. Trust me. So now you throw these guys out all on the street. Tactics are bad. Training might be bad. They haven't prepared for this. Is it too soon to be, what's up, buddy? Is it too soon to be doing this? Maybe there needs to be a regroup. I'm not blaming ICE. I'm just saying maybe maybe there's time to like pull it back a little bit and go, okay, we're killing quite a few people here. I'm not saying not picking a side because you have mass agitators, and my wife brought this to my attention when I tried to use that last night. If we had a massive gathering day after day after day and we shot people day after day after day, could it be normal? It could be. If it was just once in a while, like this was popping up, then maybe it would be out of character. So I'm trying to avoid all that at the same time and just say, maybe we got to regroup. Maybe we need more manpower. Maybe if the local government, I've said this on Anti-Hero, Tyler said it, maybe if the local government didn't just abandon ICE and we could get some local cops out there interacting with the civilians going, hey, we have to let them enforce the law. We're going to keep you guys safe. There's a bunch of things maybe could happen. This doesn't look like the best thing that's happening for our country. I agree with immigration laws. I agree you have to come in the country legally. Just did a podcast or live show Friday or Wednesday with somebody from Georgia, the country Georgia, who talked about having to come in the country legally, how much money it costs, how hard it is. There are people that have spent life savings to get to this country legally. My family came from Greece legally many, many years ago. So you have to do things the right way. Obviously, things didn't go the right way for a very long time. And here we are. But are we overdoing it? Are we not training enough? Are we not being evolved enough in tactics? This is a dog pile. I'm going to play it again. This is a dog pile. We're going to let it roll. This is not a very controlled environment. This is one we got to let it roll. Start over. All right. This is a lot going on. This is a lot of bodies for those watching. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just a cop for 23 years who did a couple things. You don't like these. There's a lot of moving parts. We don't know if he's armed. I'm sure they don't know if he's armed yet. I'm sure they're dealing with the chaos. The phone was out. I don't think he pulled a gun on anybody at this point. But this isn't a fun situation to be in for anybody involved. What do I do with my hands? What do I do? That's why we teach jujitsu and 2 or 3 men. I think 2 or 3, 4 max is really all that needed. Somebody gets high, somebody gets low, you pin them, you use your body weight. But this is chaos. This is a lot going on, a lot of moving parts for everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 agents, one looking out. There's a lot going on. Not a fun situation. They're punching. You got the swings, the dog pile. Ugly. Not ugly because it's wrong or it's illegal. It's just not good for everybody, and it's not effective for tactics. And then you have the gun goes off, shots fired. So I would, again, I'm not an expert. Jay Wadsworth is an expert. Policeman Elio Combatives, or EF Combatives. Brennan from BJJ Cops. Those guys are experts in tactics. I've never seen them. This is me, dummy Mike. I've never seen them teach a 9-man takedown. I've never seen them teach a 7-man takedown. I've never seen them teach a 5-man takedown. Is there a place for it? Maybe. Have you go watch EF Combatives, go watch Brennan, go watch the vehicle extractions, go watch the takedowns and the pins and the BJJ stuff that they teach. I've never seen it taught with 6 guys and a guy swinging pepper spray in his hand. Not blaming anybody. Not against ICE. I've just never seen it. Maybe they teach it. Maybe somebody else teaches it. I haven't seen it. I don't know. Now I'm going to take this one, and I want you to this is a hot take just coming out. This is zoomed in. What I perceive this to be, and what you're going to see is it possible during the scuffle that you see an agent not with a gun in his hand, then with a gun in his hand? I believe this video shows, based on my very bad vision, a possible accidental discharge from the recovered weapon of the suspect by an agent that leads to the shooting. I'm not saying it happened. I want you guys to watch. Tell me what you think. Is it possible the gun went off right there? Sounds like it. Looks like it. Looks like the suspect's gun. It's got the Romeo. It's got the big optic. Looks like it could be a Romeo 2 optic. Let me see if I got that image. Let's go back to the desktop just so everybody. Let's see, desktop. God damn it, where'd it go? I have the video somewhere, but I'm a moron. Oh, I hit image file. Hold on. So anyway, I'll bring the video of the gun up. But for not a gun expert, this is far. This is not, I'm not saying this is his gun, but let's go back again. Could this be an accidental discharge by the agent with the suspect's gun that was recovered? Looks like it. Walks like a duck. Looks like a duck. Could be a duck. So, now what? Video of the discharge isn't playing. You guys aren't seeing this? Everybody seeing the discharge? The accident, what looks like an AD. I'll play it again. Yeah, but it's frozen. I stopped it. So there's the video playing over and over again. Then they freeze it right there. Boom. It kind of repeats itself. You know? So I'll play it again. It's looping, and it's like this is off a site, so it's looping and it's got its own replay. So the video is like 12 seconds. I'll play it again. And then you hear the agents firing. Oh, boom. Like there we go. So now what? Now what? Who's at fault? Let's hypothetically say we just witnessed exactly what we believe happened. You're dogpiled. You're in mode. You're in takedown agitator mode. You know there's a gun. Obviously, they see the gun because an agent goes and grabs the gun. You know he has a gun. Exactly. Training. Dogpile. Could he even tell everybody gun, gun, gun? Could he say there was a gun? Did half the people see the gun? Did half the people not see the gun? Here comes the old, my wife. Here goes my wife, enters the chat. Finger on the trigger. In the middle of all this, in the chaos, in the dark depths of fighting somebody at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m., at the range at noon, flat-footed, you don't put your finger on the trigger unless you're going to shoot the gun. Now, that's where I get into the chaos and all the stuff that's going on. Are you ready to pull a gun out of the dude's waistband? Pulling a gun out of somebody's waistband in a fight is some serious shit. That is not like everyday cop 101. I think I've pulled 3 guns out of waistbands in my 23-year careers in a high stress situation. I've had guys lay down, grab the gun, or not grab, lay down, arms out. We got a gun. I've been through some felony stops. I've had a couple though where the guy was armed and I wasn't sure if he was going to use it. And it's not very fun. It's not very exciting. It's not cool. It's cool afterwards in the locker room to talk about, but it's not fun when it's going on. It's really not fun when it's going on. So you go in there and grab a gun. You're removing the gun. You're excited. There's a lot going on. And I'm not saying he pulled the trigger. I'm saying it looks like that gun could have gone off. You're fighting. There's been a gun introduced. You hear a gunshot. And shots are fired. It's not the greatest. This isn't the greatest one. I said that about the vehicle. This isn't the one. That one wasn't the one where I'd go, yeah, man, I want it on 60 Minutes. I want it on you know, I want that one to be. It was a 320, which is I guess the curveball. I hate saying joke because I try to keep things somewhat funny because I don't want to lose everybody to seriousness, but none of this is funny, I guess. But it's a SIG. It's a SIG AXG. It looks like AXG Legion lower. Got a Romeo 2 optic on it. It looks like he pulls the trigger. I guess the whole the SIG conspiracy can enter the chat now as well. All I'm saying is it's not fun. It's not fun fighting with somebody. It's not fun pulling guns off of people. It's not fun having everybody around you agitated, screaming. I've been in the hood. I've been through those dog piles. I know what it's like on the other side of that. You don't know what's going on behind you, in front of you. This is worse. There's people everywhere. But the gun goes off. Bang. Those agents are looking. Some of those guys are looking at the bad guy, if we're going to call him the bad guy. And I say that. I shouldn't say that. They're looking at the guy who ended up being unalived. And there's always +1 rule. I'm not, if the guy's got one gun, we're supposed to assume he could have 2 guns. The guy's got 1 knife, assume he's got 2 knives. There's 1 guy in the car, assume there's 2 guys in the car. If there's 2 guys in the car, assume there's 3 guys in the car. We have a +1 rule. There's things that say, don't be complacent. We got a gun off them. We see it all the time at these school shootings and these mass shootings. The guy's got multiple weapons. So just because 1 gun has been taken off him doesn't mean he couldn't have another gun. But when the gun goes off, do they see a gun? Do they see a firearm? Do they see a reason to return fire? Yeah, good point. The safety is here. This doesn't go on the trigger. So once again, to recap all this stuff, not blaming it. This isn't a blame game. This isn't I'm right. This isn't I gotcha. This is my version of what I am seeing. I mean, I guess he is a victim. He's dead. I mean, there's an investigation. But back to it. Is it poor training? Is it the agitators that are causing, this mass attack on ICE when they're trying to do their job? What is it? And why? And it's obviously all in one city. I have seen the Pink Lady's video in the back. I have it. I think Dom sent it to me. It doesn't, I can try to find it quickly, maybe. I think it's in my DMs with Dom. It doesn't really change too much. Let me see if I can find it. Dominic is all right, here we go. Let me see if I can get this quickly to you guys. Remix, download. All right, yeah, I'll have the video of the lady in the back. Everybody keeps talking about the lady in the back. She kind of has that really good view on it. I think this is it. Yep, I believe this is it. So let me text this into myself and get it up to you guys. This is because everybody keeps talking about the lady in the back, the pink lady, the lady in the jacket. This is her vantage point. Let me see if I can get it. It's a pretty big video. It's like 3 minutes long, but I'll speed through it as soon as it decides to come through. And then we'll watch that angle because I don't think that angle helps much. I think this is what we're seeing is probably what, and I'll play it again on loop for those just joining. Here is the whole video from the rip. All right, I got the lady in the back. So if you guys are watching, you see the lady in the back in the jacket that's kind of overseeing everything. I'll play it again. I don't know why it stopped. See that lady in the red? I'm going to have that video version of that here in a second so you guys can see what she saw. I guess I don't know if it's going to change anything, but we'll see.
Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Not again! Are you fucking? All
right, here is the lady in the background. I'm gonna speed it up because this is kind of what's going on. Give you guys an idea what they're dealing with. So here's the beginning of the scuffle right here. Shoved the back. The rape whistles are going off. This is the beginning of the scuffle from her vantage point.
The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
I'm gonna lose Facebook here in a minute. All right, so there's what she saw. Facebook's gonna dump me any minute. So let's go back again. This is the lead up. So I'll play the whole thing. This is her video leading up to the incident. I love the whistles, man. That alone would make me want to not even do anything. So I believe that's him in the hat right here, walking around. The guy that ends up unalived. Maybe that guy right there. Let's keep an eye on that.
What the fuck
So
is wrong
some type
with
of scuffle in the road. That guy interjects. He's grabbing that lady. There's a pushback. He's in Ice's face. He's trying to get pepper spray. So that would be him. They're pepper spraying. They're still fighting. God, the whistles, dude.
The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
All right, I'm going to remove it because I'm going to get banned here soon. So there's your lead up. Now, again, looks like he's blocking traffic. There's people being pushed back. There's interjection. I just, without sounding stupid, which I don't know if I can do that, just stay off the fucking road. Like, I get if you don't agree with what is going on, but you can't continue. We can't continue this mass interference. So that I'm gonna stand on that. Do you have a right to protest? You have a right to do a lot of things. I get it, but I mean, you're starting a block road. You're getting in front of cars. Then people are, telling you to get back. They have a right to do so. It just leads you down the road. That's just my 2 cents on what everybody's doing. If it was happening here, if the people are illegal and they're in the country illegally, I just don't understand. You can't interfere. Did the victim suspect pull a gun? I'm gonna play this other video again. This is going back to. Let's remove that one. I don't believe so. If you take this video right here and you piece it together with the other videos, it appears that he was armed. He was armed. This is my understanding. He was armed. They saw the gun. That agent that you're getting ready to see in that video that takes the gun and removes it from the scene. It appears when doing so, the agent has an accidental discharge. Negligent discharge is what they call it, your booger fingers on the trigger. And no, the guy was not trying to help ICE. The guy that got unalived was definitely looked like he was in the middle of the road, blocking cars. He's videoing. I don't know. I don't believe so. The victim was a United States citizen. He has a right to protest. He has a right to do certain things. He does not have a right to impede the federal government by getting in the way of their cars and stopping them from performing their lawful duties. He has a right to carry a gun. I'm not arguing any of that. So we'll play.
Kidding me.
This is the whole video for those maybe just joining. This is what started. This is the first video came out. One more time.
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people,
So if you look, you're going to see the guy in the gray. So you got the guy with the tan pants with the vest on, the guy to the left of him with the gray. It appears he pulls the gun right there. Let's stop right there. The guy turning towards us, there's the guy with the blue sticking out of his pants there. The guy next to him directly to the left appears to have the gun in his hand right now, as if he was the suspect was disarmed. Then we'll pick it up here. There's the same guy. So there's the guy with the blue. Now we're going to continue. There's the guy in the gray we saw pull the gun out. Now you're the jury. You watch. Looks like he fires the gun. Well, that's a horse of a different color. Looks like he fires the gun. Follows. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. So that's my version of what happened. I want the United States to live in peace. That's it. I make the jokes. I told you the humor to get. I keep the cops because there's cops that are just dark humored. They're not going to respond to reels and videos of me yapping my fucking gums like I am right now. They want to see humor. They want to see fun. I hope to get them engaged and we keep the conversation. I hope the other side as well. The meme page is the meme page. It's funny. It's supposed to be funny. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want to cause anybody any harm. Yeah, I do want you to train. I do pick on some people, but I want you to be in shape and I want you to train and be ready for situations like this. The anti-hero side and the serious side of the podcast is I need those people to tune in through dark humor, being funny, all that stuff, so we can have a real dialogue about what is going on in our country from maybe not a CNN, not a Fox News, not a MAGA, not a liberal left-wing George Soros plants, somewhere down the middle for all of us where we can come together and have some type of educated conversation about what's right or wrong. I don't want to talk tactics. I hate talking tactics. I did all that stuff. I like to keep it based on my little bit of common sense I have and what I feel is I don't discriminate. I don't dislike any certain group of people. I just want everybody to get along. It sounds so stupid, but it's the God's honest truth. Go to the casino, everybody gets along. Everybody's having a grand old time. You go to some other places, Disney, for the most part, unless somebody cuts in the line or acts crazy, going to cruise, everybody's having a grand old time. When we step out to the real world, because those kind of like vacations and fantasy worlds, somewhere in the real world is going to get your kids from school, going to the grocery store, going to church, going to work, going to do things that everybody, normal, everyday things. And we need a safe place for that to happen. So I would hope we can start to see that something has to change. There's extremes. Charlie Kirk gets killed. An entire half of the population, it seemed, cheered and wanted to brag and put blood on their neck. That's not the answer. Trump almost gets killed. People are celebrating. That's not the answer. Citizens getting mowed down. I'm not saying who's right or wrong, but take that out of it. Take these out of it. Citizens dying at the hands of the government consistently in the streets probably isn't good either. And to cheer that probably isn't good either. I see all the jokes and I know some people were upset. Fuck them. Don't come to a gunfight, a protest with a gun. Don't resist. I get it, man. People are dying though. I don't want anybody to die. Pedophiles, I want pedophiles to die for sure. People who commit deviant sexual acts against people, they should die. People who harm our children, they should die. There's some people that need to die. I'm not going to deny it. But there's everybody else. So tactics are important. I would default back to that. Go watch any well-reputable tactics company and see if they teach a 6 or 7 man dog pile. Maybe it's not working. The juice versus squeeze. Is the juice versus squeeze worth the squeeze when it comes to some of these arrests? Like, I get it, dude. I was in crowds where I'm like, fuck that dude. He's going to jail. Like massive search warrants with 100 people standing around. Yap, yap, yap. All right, that dude is running his mouth. He's inciting the crowd. He's got to go. Do it the right way. Get him in, get him out, get him to jail, get the biggest mouth. Now, that's easy to say for me because I'm not there. It seems like everybody's a big mouth and there's many, many agitators. So is it the right time to be out there on the street with limited resources that can't block off an entire block and make it safe for the agents to execute that takedown right there? I know we wouldn't do it as regular cops. If I had to go arrest a guy and I know that guy with a warrant is standing on the corner of XYZ. And when we pull out, it's going to be a shit show of gatherings and people and throwing. I'm not going to go there with fucking 10 people. I'm not going to go with 5 people. I'm going to be like, look, bro, I need you guys to create a perimeter. Go get set up, block it, get ready to block it. Boom, bring in some armor. Like if it, depending on the situation, you got to overcompensate for safety. That's kind of the responsibility of the government. I will put that on them. They have to overcompensate to make sure things are done correctly for their agents, for their people, and for the people. That's why big operations, search warrants, armored vehicles, all that stuff that goes around. That's important. Most people, especially cops, have never seen how things can really get when people get enough of the nonsense. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, I see what he's saying. People are sick of something. I don't know if they have a right to be because the government has a right to do the work. But we're at some point. Years ago, you had to fall back. They took over fucking police departments in Portland and Seattle. Fuck that. We should have went in there with force. That's when you bring 3,000 people in and say you can't fucking take our police building over. Fuck you. I agree with that. You can't. But at the same time, here it's like we can't just can't be. I don't think we're going to survive on a shooting a week. If it comes out they're all justified, I'll eat crow. But I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying at the rate we're going, it's not great for America. It's not. It's great when everybody is getting along and the law's being enforced. And people are following the rules. God comes first. America is great. So that's it. That's all I got. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I wanted to put my 2 cents out there about my beliefs. I got people saying that, oh, dude, this guy doesn't care about people and he's a piece of shit. And I don't want that to be the case. I make some jokes, make some humor, bring people together, use that to get some message across. And that's my version of what is going on. And, I'll engage with some of the comments here. Yeah. These politicians inciting or encouraging violence they're not good. Encouraging non-cooperation, it's not good. I'm not saying over cooperation. We're not going to march around and be taken over. And the tyrannical government comes in and then just takes the republic. I don't agree with that either. But you can't come in the country illegally. Yeah, there has to be rules. There has to be rules. They have to be enforced. I agree with that. Anybody else? I'll stay about 10 more minutes, 5 more minutes. If everything slows down, any questions, anybody wants to jump in, anybody wants to come on, I can send you a link. You're welcome to come on and give me your 2 cents. Oh, the war hat. I got a lot of comments yesterday about the war hat. This hat has nothing to do with war as far as shooting people, killing people. War was originally worn by Marvin Hagler when he fought Tommy Hearns in some of those wars of 2 men fighting. It was then passed on, and Dustin Poirier, UFC fighter, started wearing it, which I'm a huge fan of Dustin Poirier. This is war within. This is the war I fight to be in physical shape. This is the war you fight to be a good person. This is not war, go kill people. This is war within. Go look it up. Marvin Hagler, great boxer. Dustin Poirier, great fighter. How do we get worst on your show? I don't know what that means. Had to be dark, here to be dark or pessimistic, but do you think we will see an agent or agents seriously? Yeah, I mean, we could. Look what happened with a lot of people don't know this. When George Floyd stuff happened, I know an agent of a Minneapolis police officer who was beaten in the head with a brick or a blunt object and had to retire. He retired out of state due to the riots. Had nothing to do with George Floyd, wasn't there, didn't do anything. And they compromised the agency. I know they broke into the police departments. They were stealing people's identities. They were stealing people's information, doxing everybody. And during one of the protests, this guy got beat with an inch of his life and had to relocate and can't be a cop anymore. So that's not the answer either. What are your thoughts on the whole thing being a ploy by the government? Yeah. I mean, you got to throw that in there at this point. We've been lied to our whole lives about what this war was for and what if this president was assassinated by the government. Did we land on the moon? 9/11. There's a lot of things that come up. Could it be a ploy? Could it? I mean, dude, anything's possible anymore. Notice that nobody facilitated the invasion has been held accountable. Majorca rode off into the sunset with a smile on his face. So, ploys. The government, I don't know, man. I don't trust the government either. I'm not here to tell you to comply. I'm not. COVID was an absolute wake-up call of what the government's capable of and how fraudulent that was. Could all this be a ploy? Could this be the new world order? Could it be something? It could. Nothing is off the table at this point. This is live as we speak. You want to come on? Come on. This is live as we speak. I can only see the Facebook comments. Nobody else can see them. So if you're on Facebook, the majority of the people are watching on Copville YouTube and Counterculture YouTube. 17 in one, 14 in the other, 6 on Facebook. But this is live as we speak. It is, what is it? 12:46 p.m. on Sunday. And it started at noon, and I just wanted to, this will be still on my YouTube and Counterculture YouTube and Facebook to rewatch, but I'm going to go through these videos one more time for the kids that just joined, if everybody wants to see them. Here is here's the original video that came out yesterday. One more time. This is from across the street. This is the takedown.
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know?
Focus on, as we're here, break down the guy bent over to the far right, the one that's just behind the car in view. He's wearing the jeans and like the grayest jacket. Keep it on him. Right about there, it looks like he's turning. And this is where we believe he's got the suspect's gun in his right hand. The guy in the blue is next to him. And then I'm going to remove that. I'm going to bring the other video up. This is a continuation. It looks like that same gentleman has the gun in his hand. Yeah, they are taking him down, but he doesn't have a gun anymore. For Joanne that's just watching, the gun's been removed from the dog pile. That's what I'm kind of getting at here. I'm going to go back to this one. There it is, the guy in the gray removing the gun right about there. So he does not have a gun. The best of my knowledge, the suspect does not have a gun. I call him a suspect. Steve's going to be mad. The person that ends up deceased does not have a gun anymore that we know of. Could have another one. The gun that I believe the agent showed us right now as we speak in this video, the guy in the blue with the tan pants, the guy to the left of him that's turning, has the gun. Okay? So he takes off. Now we'll go to here. Here's that same view zoomed in on the guy that had removed the gun, and it appears the gun goes off right there. So now the agent looks like he has his finger on the gun. He fires the gun. Now you're going to hear a return fire. One more time, this video continues. Top for anybody, gun expert. Anybody on earth it appears to be the person is disarmed. You would call that sympathetic fire, whatever the fancy term is. They hear gunshots. They know there's a gun. And what follows is not me to judge. I'm here to provide the information. What follows is that suspect is killed. The person is killed. So make sure you know your information. Make sure you follow before you jump online. We jumped online yesterday. We watched that video. I try not to speculate. Yes, here's a great point. Is it possible he could have reached for another weapon? Anything is possible. And if I was an agent, that's what I'd be saying. But I can say, this is my opinion. Hate my guts. Rapidly evolving situation, high tense, rapidly evolving situation. I tried that in internal affairs investigation. It didn't fly. But this is a high intensity, rapidly evolving situation. They know there's a gun. Somebody sees it. At least one guy sees it. Several people see it. One second. Somebody sees it because one guy has it. Then you hear pop. We're humans. I'm not defending shooting somebody that doesn't need to be shot, but There's another angle from which point of view of sidewalk. The agent clearly takes a gun from a holster directly on the man's back after noticing it. Then another agent notices the holster. Yeah, the holster's probably empty at that point, but I get what you're saying. If the group of people did the same exact thing, would they be in jail? So, okay, I got somebody wants to come on. Let me send a invite guest. We're gonna get another point of view. Get that invite sent. So, like I said, I'm not the good know-all. Never claimed to be. I know a few things. And what the fuck did I do? I know a few things and I have some experience, but I'm not just a dude, man. Just a dude who did the job, and I'm giving you my my best, most information I can provide. And let's see. I feel like it should be noted questions. Why is the environment in Minneapolis so bad compared to other places when these apprehensions are taking place? ICE is literally across the river in St. Paul. I brought that up last night as well, and you're right. I will say this is a problem more so there because of the local government telling the people not to listen to the feds. That's a problem. I agree 1,000,000%. That's a problem because my wife and I discussed this in depth last night, and I said that. And I said, why, it's going on in Chicago, it's going on in St. Paul, it's going on in all over. But I believe that obviously part of the problem is the local government telling people not to cooperate with the feds. Yes, it was empty, but the victim reaches for his back. Can't tell if it's because he was shot or if he was, yeah. Well, there you go. You're piecing together. OAJ is actually making some sense here because let's read that again. So he says here, there's a sidewalk, clear gun holster directly on the man's back. So the guy's got a holster on his back. And then he comes down here and he's making a great point. Communication. Did the agent who took the gun and looks like fired it, did he communicate? Gun, I have the gun. This all goes into training. This all goes into technique. This all goes into takedown procedures and communication. I think he was shot everywhere. If you watch the video, dude's shot everywhere. I don't really, if he's got a gun and he's reaching for it, let's go back. Irrelevant where he gets shot in the real world of reaching for a gun. Do they see just the holster? Do they see just the holster and go, okay, he's reaching for his holster, shoot him? I personally, this is Michael Dilks, the moron behind Copville. I personally believe the shot of the accidental discharge, if that's what we saw, and I believe it is, caused the gunfire. That's what I believe. No agent is going to take their gun out and do a desk pop. So I would think the human mind, these guys making split-second decisions, rapidly evolving, they maybe see a holster, they hear a gunshot, dude's not cooperating. In their brain, they go, this guy just fired around at me. And then they return fire. That's my opinion. All right, this one says in the video he saw, if you have that video, if you can text it to me or get it to me, copvilleog@gmail.com, download it, send it. If you got some other angle, I'd love to see it. I'm going based on what we see right here. The cops unloaded because his 6-hour went off. He shouldn't have died, but the cops were following protocol. Well, not if the gun, I don't know if they're following protocol. I'm not ready to say that yet. You mean lack of training and communication? I do. If you have that video, please, see if you can find it real quick and you can get it to me. I can get it up. No, Izzo, I watched Izzo. We talked about it, Dom and I. I know what Dom, I watched a little bit of what he said. I know what Dom's take on it is. He doesn't like any of this. We disagree. He agrees the shooting is justified in the other one, but he doesn't like it. And I'm kind of in the same boat. I believe you can shoot that person in the other shooting, but I don't know that I'd want to. I wasn't there. Wasn't my dog. Wasn't my, not my not my clowns, not my circus. Wasn't me. I wasn't in charge of it. Wasn't there. Didn't taste it, didn't smell it, didn't feel it. I'm not there to say what I might have done. So would I have liked to have been on the other end of that one? No, I don't want to shoot anybody. But the email address is, I'll put it in here. copvilleog@gmail.com. Yeah. Shit's going to hit the fan when they turn out. Hold on. Why don't we wait to see the details, but even throw? I think you're a little late to America. If today's your first day in America, then I'm sorry. Our country's in a war, but from many angles, but nobody's waiting for any details to come out. I'm not saying I'm not here to say what I think is right or wrong. So we're going to talk about it. That's like saying wait till you're found guilty or not guilty of a crime, or guilty of a crime, and then give your side of the story or give your opinion. I don't think we're ever going to do that. So if you're starting here with Copville, you better get on the internet and tell everybody, every page, every major news network, the entire world. You better tell them stop broadcasting news until we know the answer. Until then, we're going to talk. We're going to have dialogue, and maybe we can get ahead of it, where we can see some other angles and sway some people's misinformation and get out as much, information that we see, maybe some other angles to give us some insight. Do we convict anybody? Nope. Do we completely justify the situation? Nope. But I think it's good for America to talk about things. Otherwise, why do police departments release body cam right away to stop civil unrest? Why do police departments release press conferences before a case is dissolved to relieve people? That's where we're always going to do that. So, Mike, this is off topic, but I hope you are enjoying your 80 degrees and sunny weather down there. Yeah, it's nice. Video sent. All right, let me get into my email. Squealer.
What's up, my man?
What's up, buddy? We're gonna keep you off video. Squealer, you got don't get me canceled or anything, but
no, sir, I won't do that for sure.
Keep them entertained while I go find this video. What's your view on all this?
Well, I don't know how much longer you want to stream. Maybe that's I don't want to take up too much time.
Go ahead. I'm pulling up another video and stuff. So you got time to give me your version of it. Your opinion. So, remember, this is not my opinion. This is what you got to say. Go ahead.
100%. So any loss of life is obviously heartbreaking, and to watch, what happened there, if you don't hurt to a degree just for the humanity level of it, then you're not human. So I think I made a comment in the chat a little bit ago. I wish somebody that had a cooler head, or maybe not so much of an obvious agenda, could make the argument that what the protesters are doing with basically creating the chaos, blowing whistles and essentially just distraction all over the place, that that they're actually putting not just the ICE agents in harm, but other protesters and the people that they're trying to legally apprehend. They're putting all those people in danger I mean, there can be a lot of things true at once. If you subscribe to the fact that the government is able to do what they're supposed to be doing, or at least that's what they're doing, if you believe that they should be able to do this and you should be able to protest, then there has to be some understanding there. And I'm not accusing the deceased of anything. I've seen the video maybe a couple of times. I've also seen the video that other people have put out of him being a very humane person in the VA hospital when a veteran died. So I don't know that guy. I don't know the officer. It just, but a lot of things can be true at the same time. It's chaotic. And everybody, including myself, you, and anybody that wasn't there, is watching this from the comfort of their home. Mm-hmm. They're watching this from a 1,500 miles away, with the ability to replay and play again and replay and play again and analyze. I mean, we've had this video for 24 hours now, And how long did it take for somebody to recognize the agent pulling the gun out of his holster in the back?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I watched it twice. I watched it once, and then Dom said to me, "Slow down." And like, I thought I was watching a different video because AI's out there. I have no idea, and that's what I say. Like when that comment was, "Why are we?" I'm not judging anybody, but obviously this is going to be talked about, and it's going to be discussed, and that's why I look at. I like to think I'm very level-headed and very down the middle when it comes to these things. That's why I think I have 2 cents in it. I'm not an expert, but I'm not quick to go kill them all, and I'm not quick to go, let the government overrun the citizens. And
I think you're doing a really good job of portraying.
Yeah,
I think you're doing a good job of portraying that on the live stream. That the last thing we want to do is see a bunch of rah 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 for anything. And and I think when you're, when Charlie Kirk got killed, you saw all the celebration there, and that's disgusting. And in my heart of hearts, was that response more than it showed? It maybe we were portrayed this to push a narrative, that it was, more people, maybe 1% of the population had that type of reaction, but not to get into the percentages of stuff that we can't quantify, but it's heartbreaking. And I think you're doing a great job. This is exactly what needs to happen, is for people to, that, clearly, I watch enough of the podcasts and and you guys have conservative views, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I would feel that I fall in that same boat, but I try to be as genuine. Being in law enforcement, you have to be genuine.
Correct.
You have to be honest. The moment that those things, that integrity is broken, you've lost the trust of the community that you're supposed to serve. And if you don't have their trust, then it's easy to just, when somebody makes, and I'm not saying this is the case, but let's just say you have 3 or 4 guys dogpiled on, terrible tactic. And like I heard you say earlier, and then that one person who fires the first shot, whether it was sympathetic gunfire or not, but this he's got tunnel vision. He's got tunnel vision. Yep. All 5 or 6 of those guys, you can tell, have not been, and I shouldn't say you can tell because that's not fair. Maybe one of those guys is a true BA, and that's Virginian for badass, by the way, BA. So
I know.
One of those guys is a true badass, and he's not able to do as good as he could because he's not fighting, but he's got 4 or 5 of the guys that are counteracting what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say this: it's easy for if you lose your integrity, you're put in doubt for anything whatsoever. Then when you do make a mistake with your heart, not with your head, but with your heart, you make a mistake with your heart, and you're like, oh, I guarantee you. I mean, if I was in that situation and I find myself where that guy is right now that fired those shots, they didn't just walk up to him and shoot him in the head. No. There was a scuffle. There was a lot of context to it. And I'm not defending it at all or saying that it was right. But it just, everything, every time I watch a show of you guys, one of the things that comes up very frequently is training, whether that's physical training or that's scenario-based training, force-on-force training. This highlights the importance of it. And I'm not beating these guys up at all. But, I've been in law enforcement for 24 years, and every year that I've been in law enforcement, I've tried to better myself with a skill set and then keep that skill set refreshed. Perishable skills, even though we may train them once a month or once a year, they're still perishable skills. Yeah. And I apologize. I didn't mean to come on your live stream.
You're good. No, I appreciate it, man. I think, and like I said, in a lot of these videos, even like the VIT stuff where they're trying to block cars in, we're seeing not effective tactics used. And I'm not here, like you said, judge anybody, tell anybody they're whatever, but it's apparent that the dog pile's not effective. And maybe it's time to pull back a little bit and say, hey, maybe we need to reevaluate our tactics.
I mean, you see it classic when you're doing scenario-based training, and I help teach officer survival where I'm at. And one of the first things that new recruits start doing is working across the body. Somebody postures up, and they're on the guy's left side, and they're reaching for the right arm, trying to control that. Well, that's all you're doing is basically, unless you're putting weight on them, and how strong that posture position is, it's it just shows you how much you need to train, and it shows you that how one person who is I wouldn't say he's jacked or he looks like he's in fairly good shape. But
Small guy.
yeah, he's got a very nice firearm. How much resistance you can cause, even 5. Let's just say that they're not as well trained as maybe some street cops are. How much one person can resist five grown men, whether they're law enforcement or not. So
yeah, I hear you. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much for your opinion and for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, Mike. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And again, I apologize if I overtalked.
No, thank you. No, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so let's go to this comment right here. I know you spend time on the loan of the feds. Don't they have body cams? I haven't seen a body cam yet. It's super expensive. I haven't seen an ICE body cam yet. I would highly doubt they're wearing them at all. A lot of those protesters are trying to be martyrs. That's what happens. That all happened in seconds and under a heightened dangerous. Yeah, I agree. If you've never been arrested, you shouldn't judge. Never been arrested. One is slowed down. All right. Two types of people trust self-proclaimed heroes: the ignorant and the stupid. Been like a football team, never practiced, trying to go to Super Bowl. Yeah. Excuses for law enforcement, but the same excuse would not fly for a group of people that did the same thing. Why and what reason could justify attending a riot while armed, knowing it could go to a confrontation? Well, I don't know that was a riot. I'm not trying to go crazy. I agree with what you're saying. It didn't literally look like a riot. Looked like some type of police presence. And I mean, I talked about it earlier. You have a right to be armed, but do you have a right to be armed and then interfere with federal agents and all that? And it's an ugly, slippery slope. So I got some video here. I guess this one, maybe there's two. Let me just check my email before I roll. I got a couple. These are on Reddit, so I don't know how they're going to play, but I'll play this one. I think this one kind of shows us what we've been watching. So this is that agent. This is kind of broken down with pictures and colors and help us here. That looks like he's reaching for the gun. He sees it. That's what we've been talking about. It makes sense that it's on his back, because if you look between his legs, it appears that would be his back, that the agent's like on his back right now, or dealing with the back of him. Unholstered, now appears to have a gun in his hand. Turns. Boom. And then the gun's in his hand and he looks like he fires it. So there we are. Let me go to this Reddit video and see how that pulls up on here. Let me get to my email. I don't know how this is going to work or how. Let's see. I guess maybe this is slowed down from the chicks in red. It sucks doing this all by yourself, just so you guys know. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to do all this and play this. So there you are. There's a guy right in the middle, not the guy with the hat on in the tan, but right in the middle of the screen, the guy in the gray would be the guy that ends up with the gun. There he turns. He's walking away. Oh boy, ain't good. Let's go back and watch that again. One more time. Focus on the guy in the hat in the middle of the screen right now. Looks like he's reaching for the guy's gun to disarm him. So right about now, that gun is off of the person. He's turning. So like he fires. and they fire. There it is. There it is. You want a full screen? I'm sorry. Let me put it back up. It's hard to tell on here. I apologize. It's just hard on this program to. I'll do it again. Hold on. Full screen it here. All right, there we go. My bad. I'm a terrible host. One more time, because I'm terrible. I gotta find it because I'm a moron. Share screen. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? All right. Roll, maybe. All right, here we go again. So, fighting. Let's go start it again. There's your boom. Here comes your guy with the hat. The guy with the red brim on his hat and the sunglasses is reaching for the gun. Right there, straight in the middle of the screen. You can see now, look, if you look right there, that would be the guy's butt where there's the guy with the black hat on, bent down. His right hand would be the guy's back. Looks like he's on his knees in his butt, and the guy in the gray is leaned in, and he is pulling the gun or on the gun. That's the guy's skin. So it looks like there's the holster right in the middle of your screen there. Boom, the gun is gone. He's turning with it. Now he's being shot. The guy shooting appears as there's a guy on his knees. I mean, that's a really good slow down picture. There's your suspect or person in the middle. He's got the beard, the hat. You got the guy to the right. You can see the gun in his hand in the green or the tan long sleeve, and he's firing. And there you go. You can make your decision on. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to tell you to make a decision, but that's about as good as you're going to get it. I see if I can put that link in here. There's a link to it. That'll take you directly to that video I just played, and you guys can. It's like I said, we're America. We need to talk about it. I'm not here to tell anybody who's guilty, who's not. I'm not. There's people that are going to do that. I just want to, we should be talking. That's all I'm going to say. Productive conversation is important. I got one more video. Let me see what this is. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, you guys got it. I mean, this one, I'll play it. This one kind of breaks it down in two videos and highlights everything at once. So hold on, let me get this in here. Share screen. All right, this is another version of it. Multiple camera angles, kind of highlighting what I was talking about. So here we'll roll that. There's your gun. So there's the gun's gone. That obviously there's your person on his knees, and there's an agent's gun. Here it goes again. Well, I will put that one in here. Oh, is it sound? I'm sorry if there's sound. I mean, I have to watch the video from a different screen when I play it. So I'll put the sound back in if there's sound for this one. Hold on. Do that again. Sorry. I'm a moron. I thought I turned the sound on. All right, here we go. This one's got sound. I will replay it because I'm a loser, baby. All right, here it comes with sound.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly. What did you just do? What is wrong with you? Honestly.
That's it. That's all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully, you generate conversation amongst yourselves and come up with something. Hopefully, this nation heals and we get back to the good times. If there was good times, I just don't. I retired. I'm glad I don't have to be out there dealing with this. I am, but I still have kids, grandkids. My goal is to have the country be as safe as possible. That's why I try to generate conversation. It's the Anti-Hero broadcast does. You can catch us tomorrow morning live at 11 a.m. on the Anti-Hero YouTube channel. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this more. That's the Michael Dilks Copville version. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Thank you so much.